You didn't stumble upon this message by chance. You're here because your soul is ready for a truth that transcends everything you've been taught. The 7 universal laws you've heard about? They're fragments, incomplete echoes of a far greater force, buried for millennia. This isn't a coincidence. When the soul is prepared, the revelation arrives. You may have sensed that something about the spiritual teachings you've encountered never fully clicked. The law of attraction works sporadically. The law of correspondence explains, but doesn't transform. Why? Because these laws are mere threads of a single, all-encompassing truth. Thoth, the ancient scribe, didn't teach 7 laws. He revealed one, the singular force that governs everything. Few are ready to grasp it, for it can't be understood with the mind alone. It must be remembered. Stay with me, because once you embrace this truth, your life will never be the same. Man is a star bound to a body. Free your light, and you shall be the all. Questioning the 7 laws. How often have you accepted ideas without scrutiny, simply because they were delivered with authority? You've likely heard of the 7 universal laws: vibration, polarity, correspondence, and others, presented as the ultimate framework for reality. 7 is a sacred number, evoking order and completeness, a neat equation for the universe. But pause and reflect. Where did these laws originate? Who declared them absolute? Why did you trust them without question? Most never probe these questions, as it's easier to repeat than to investigate. Accepting a ready-made system feels safer than peering into the unknown. Yet, the 7 universal laws, as popularized today, aren't the direct teachings of Thoth. They don't appear in the emerald tablets or the ancient Egyptian temples. They emerged centuries later, in 1908, within the Kybalion, a text attributed to 3 anonymous initiates. This book, rooted in Hermetic philosophy, offers valuable insights, but is a modern interpretation, not a literal transcription of Thoth's wisdom. It's a Western attempt to systematize the infinite, a bridge to understanding, but not the destination. The Kybalion has merit, distilling Hermetic principles into accessible concepts, but reducing the sacred to a mental framework limits its depth. By codifying the universe into 7 laws, we risk losing the essence that transcends structure. Thoth never spoke of 7 distinct principles. His teachings, encoded in symbols and vibrations, pointed to unity, not division. He didn't advocate effort to manifest desires. He urged remembrance of your true essence. Knowledge for Thoth wasn't a manual, but a return to the source, a process of unveiling what's always been within you, forgotten. The danger lies in mistaking the 7 laws for the whole truth. Memorizing them can feed the spiritual ego, giving the illusion of mastery. But true wisdom isn't intellectual. It's a vibration that shatters illusions, felt beyond words. The 7 laws are a map, useful but incomplete. Clinging to them traps you in multiplicity when the call is to unity. Thoth didn't author the Kybalion, and his original teachings are simpler, yet infinitely deeper. The human mind's need for structure. The human mind resists simplicity. It craves systems, categories, and formulas, seeking control over the unknown. Over centuries, spirituality was fragmented into doctrines, rituals, and numbered laws, 7, 13, even 21, in modern iterations. Each edition drifted further from the origin, piling complexity over the truth. Thoth's Hermeticism didn't use law as a rigid rule, but as a natural rhythm, like flowing water or a growing seed. His teachings, inscribed in the emerald tablets, were vibrational keys, not checklists, pointing to a truth beyond language. a presence that reveals itself through being. Modern minds demand control, turning fluid principles into dogma. The seven laws became a golden cage, shiny, organized, but limiting. They're threads in a vast tapestry, but focusing on each thread obscures the whole picture. Multiplicity serves as an entry point, opening doors to understanding, but clinging to it as the ultimate truth traps you in the spiritual ego's need to catalogue and conquer. Knowledge becomes a burden. Wisdom diluted by form. The alphabet forms words, but fixating on letters misses the message. Spiritual laws are letters. The essence is the living language they express. This is why so many feel unfulfilled despite studying spiritual systems, astrology, numerology, mantras, or sacred codes. You can amass information, yet remain disconnected from your inner truth. The soul doesn't crave quantity or formulas. It seeks the center, the real. Any law must be tested through experience. If it doesn't transform you, it's merely a conceptual decoration, another barrier between you and the all. The one true law, being Thoth's Hermeticism, spoke of returning to the one. This isn't a concept to dissect, but a state to embody. The seven laws, vibration, polarity, correspondence, are reflections of a single, invisible matrix. The true law isn't taught. It's revealed when the mind quiets and consciousness recognizes itself. It's not a theory or belief, but a reality you're already living, yet haven't fully realized. Before principles, there is being, not identity, roles, or stories, but pure consciousness, the presence before thought. This is the one law, being. Whether called God, Source, or I Am, it's the state of wholeness where observer and observed merge. This vibration is indivisible, permeating everything. It pulses in your silence, in the space between thoughts, in moments of pure presence, gazing at nature, lost in a moment of clarity, or struck by sudden insight. You've touched this law, felt its wordless knowing, a reunion with what you never ceased to be. The great teachers echoed this. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." Buddha urged, "Look within, you are the Buddha." Socrates declared, "Know thyself." Thoth was direct. Know thyself, and you will know the gods and the universe. When you recognize your true self, not the ego or mask, but the silent observer, you reconnect with the source. This shifts perception and thus reality. The law of being isn't a rule to obey, it simply is. Matter, vibration, time, and life are its expressions. Suffering arises when you forget this, living as a fragment, disconnected from the whole. The sacred choice of forgetting. Why was this truth buried under layers of dogma and multiplicity? Because being, in its infinity, chose to forget to rediscover itself. This wasn't a mistake, but a divine choice. Consciousness didn't fall into separation. It projected itself into form, bodies, and stories to experience the return to unity. Each incarnation, each role, your name, culture, fears, is a lens showing part of the whole. Believing you're only that part creates the illusion of separation. Life is a game of forgetting and remembering. Consciousness weaves itself into labyrinths to recognize its essence in every reflection. The contrast of absence and presence makes the light brighter, the soul lighter. The veils, bodies, and laws are disguises, not deceptions. Awakening requires choosing to remember amidst confusion. When external chaos sparks an inner shift, true spirituality is reintegration, moving from the fragment to the whole, the vibrational prison of illusion. Forgetting creates a vibrational prison without walls or guards. You believe you're your body, name, or pain, contracting your vibration with each label. This isn't freedom. You're spinning in cycles, trapped by identification. You think you're free because you choose your career or city, but inside, you're stuck. The more you define yourself as small, incapable, or at war, the more reality reflects that. This reverse effort, striving to escape, tightens the prison, as the mind repeats what it knows: fear, control, survival. Suffering stems from forgetting your nature, seeking worth externally, or conforming to fit in. This disconnection distorts your vibration, attracting situations that reinforce guilt, shame, or scarcity. The world becomes a battlefield, time scarce, people distant, not because reality is cruel, but because your vibration filters it so. You're not living truth, but belief. And as long as that belief is rooted in separation, you remain trapped in an energy bubble, reacting, surviving, repeating. Breaking free through presence. This prison isn't permanent. It exists only in unconsciousness. The way out isn't effort, but presence. When you become truly present, your inner field reorganizes. A forgotten frequency stirs in your chest, a return to your whole self. You're not just a body or face, but a complex, intelligent structure, a unified field of physical, mental, emotional, energetic, and spiritual layers, all vibrating from one core. Your physical body is the densest layer, enabling earthly experience, but behind it are subtler bodies connected by presence. Living in fragments, treating the body as separate from emotion or mind, as disconnected from spirit, creates distortion. A harmful thought affects your body. A repressed emotion blocks your energy. An unhealed trauma clogs your spiritual flow. Everything is one organism. Breathing consciously oxygenates your entire field. Speaking truth shapes frequencies around you. Silence reorganizes existence itself. Returning to the whole body means living as a unified field, not fragments. Your true vibration comes from the silent observer that never doubts or falters. When you inhabit this, your field aligns, emitting a frequency so pure that reality reshapes around it. You don't attract, you project. The law of being isn't a magnet, it contains everything. Suffering is the distance between who you are and who you're being. Close that gap, and you live from the center, where manifestation is effortless, embodying the law of being. You're not here to chase desires, but to be. Wanting stems from lack, asking from separation. True creation happens when you embody the answer, recognizing you are the universe expressing itself. Moses's "I am," Jesus's "the kingdom is within," the Vedas' "Tattvam Asi," and Thoth's "as within, so without," all point to this. Reality flows from you. Align your vibration with your essence, and manifestation becomes inevitable. No effort, just flow. To live this daily, release the need to control. The mind calculates, but being rests. Here's how to embody the law of being. Silence. Practice inner silence, observing without judgment. In this quiet, your soul's frequency rises, cleansing mental noise. Intention. Set pure intentions from your core, not ego. Every action becomes a ritual, a vibrational command to the universe. Self-observation. Watch your impulses and habits without attachment. This awareness frees you from autopilot, returning power to the observer. Words. Speak with awareness. Words carry frequency. Declare truths that expand your field, like vibrational magic. Presence. Live each moment fully. Every breath, gesture, and choice becomes a decree when rooted in being. These practices aren't effort, they're remembrance. You don't become, you stop forgetting. Reality stops resisting, cooperating with your wholeness. Desire becomes expression, not lack. Intention aligns with manifestation. Your divine power activates when you shed the illusion of struggle and step into remembrance. You are the creator. This message found you because you're ready, not to search, but to remember. You're not a fragment seeking completion. You're the whole, veiled by forgetting. The law of being isn't studied, it's lived, pulsing in your silence, radiating from your center. You stop waiting and start creating. Stop reacting and start radiating. If this stirred you, drop in the comments. I am the whole, remembering my essence. Let's see who else is awakening. Support this mission via the pinned comment link or the thanks button to spread this truth. A curated video awaits to deepen your journey. Click now. You didn't find this, it found you. See you in the next vibration.